the first movie I went through, breezed through, loved it, classic. The second movie I couldn't do because it's just Willie screaming the whole time, like, "Eh!" I'm like, oh
Yeah,
god, it's
yeah,
annoying. Like it ruined the movie for me. I was like, I can't do this because it's
yeah.
so repetitive. And then of course, Crusade's always a good one. And Skull, I stuck out because I was just sitting there thinking about MC. I was like,
Yeah. You
if
notice
you knew
Scream
what,
Queens was a thing there for a while.
yeah, she
Yeah.
was overdoing it. I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, woo.
Yeah.
I hit mute every time. Anytime she was coming on, I knew she was going to do it. I was like, just like I told you, saving
Yeah.
grace was short round.
Yeah.
Short round was like, he's like Dr. Jones. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
this little kid saving this movie. I remember his Data. You remember his Data in the Goonies?
Yeah.
He's here like six shoes.
Yeah.
Booby traps,
Yeah.
booty traps. Oh, what lie.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So here we go. Let's do this right. Let's do this right. Oh, yeah, sure. People ask me, like, what are you wearing? Jake Laws. All right. So, hello, everyone. My name is Paige. Welcome to episode 115 of the Hangout, where we give you positive insight into the world of collecting in a very chilled and relaxed atmosphere. I say we because I am joined by one of the two Corys. MC is still fulfilling his, what is it now? 22 game suspension
Yeah. Yeah. He's getting there.
for lewd conduct flagged by YouTube. But no, he's on vacation. Hopefully, he's having a good time, having fun, spending time with family. We all need a break, right? So, yeah. But I am joined by Mr. CC. How
Thank
you
you for
doing,
having
sir?
me, sir.
No, thank you
It's
for
always a
coming on.
pleasure. Always a pleasure.
As always, man. How you been? Good?
Yeah, man. How about you?
I'm good. Doing good. It's raining. I don't know if you can hear it, but if I lose some bad connection, it's probably because of that. So, other than that, life is good. Life is good. Taking pictures.
I like the cup. What you got going on there? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's dual purpose. Mm, it's good. Drink tea, drink tea. Mm. Anything interesting happened? Anything interesting happened with you, man, this week?
No, man. New toys. That's always fun, right? New
Mm-hmm.
toys got in today. Finally got one in under on the FedEx guy, right? That had that hold issue that finally went bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did that get cleared up?
Finally. Well, I told you I finally found an employee that didn't care as much about their job, so they didn't take it as serious.
Yeah.
The other one wasn't having it. Wasn't
Mm-hmm.
what having it. Got to make sure your names match, folks. Pay more attention than what I did. It was wrong on the shipping thing, and I didn't catch it. Didn't catch it.
You, you know what I'm surprised about is it's usually flip flop. The guy that's covering for the main guy on the route, he's the one that's the stickler.
Yeah.
Because the guy in your route, when I was talking to Demetrius about it, he was telling me, he goes, anytime that they have those packages and they hold them, they don't deliver them, it counts against them. And then they got to take it all the way back to the FedEx distribution center, put it into the system,
Yeah.
and then it's a flag on them because they didn't technically deliver it.
Yeah.
And so usually, like I said, it's the other guy that's like, no, you didn't sign for it. The
Yeah.
other guy's like, I don't want this shit
Yeah.
to count against me, man. So,
Yeah.
mm. Ah. So I'm gonna forewarn you and everybody else.
Uh-oh.
A little petty tonight.
Uh-oh.
We might have a little bit of petty page tonight, but I'll keep it in check.
We got to get that action figure.
I like this. Yeah, we do. We need to get it, but there's a bunch of action figures we can talk about tonight.
Little petty
Man,
page. I'd buy a little petty page.
a little tiny one. Some accessories.
You're right.
A little delete button. Some glasses. Papa Smurf always says. That dude was annoying. Bernie Smurf, man. Remember he used to throw his ass out the village every single time? He started running his mouth and his ass get tossed out the village. I was like, jeez. But yeah. Well, I'll try to keep it in check tonight. A couple things as we start. the streak continues. The streak continues. We're at
Yeah.
30. Yeah, we're at 32, man. 32. Very proud of that streak. As a person with no consistency, I say this every week. I'm very proud of that streak. But another streak that's been going on is to give myself a little pat on the back is the I don't know if we want to spoil it just yet, but is the processing, I guess, streak. I have not had a problem with my car buying anything or charging anything, and that's been since November of last year.
Yeah.
So without spoiling anything, I guess you kind of got to do it right. Did you have any processing problems today?
No.
So
No.
see
I haven't had any in quite a while either. I had the one situation where I did get one declined because I didn't go in and update my payment.
Yeah.
But as soon as I did, it went through and everything else has since. So I haven't had any issues.
Yeah.
They seem to have no problem taking my money. Unfortunately, nobody does.
Yeah, I don't think companies would be like, we don't want to take their money. So
Right.
Yeah.
No, sir, your money is no good here. Yeah. They don't seem to feel that way.
Yeah. So if you are having problems, I would highly recommend just going in, and especially with MezcoCon coming up, that's a little transition for that, but especially with MezcoCon coming up, I would definitely recommend you go in and just update all your orders with your new payment. I see a couple of people on the boards and stuff that say, oh yeah, man, I updated my stuff. And you got to remember, when you put in your new card, when you erase your card, that doesn't change your orders. So anything that you had is still going to keep that information. So remember, MezcoCon's coming up. We don't know what's going to happen. Last thing you want is to be charged or not be able to get some of these items if they have them up. So thank for that. Little bit of a short round show tonight. Get it? Short round. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to cover. A bulk of it is going to probably be about Alan Quartermain and King Solomon's Mine. Evidently, they put that up for pre-order today. So most people probably won't get that reference. They're like, who? We'll get that. So Top Guns for tonight. So tonight, a lot of shit dropped. So we'll just kind of talk about that stuff. And then at the end, I want to do pitch meeting. And I figured, because of the conversations that we've been having, and then also some of the things that I've seen in the group, I figured our pitch meeting tonight would be payment plans involving Mezco.
Yeah.
Would it work for them? Would it work for collectors? Is it something you would do? How would you do it? We'll keep it light, though, not really deep. Because like I said, a lot of this stuff is very intense. And as I was going through it today, I was like, geez, this is just hurting my pockets like right
now. Yeah.
I was cringing with some of this stuff. I was like, geez, they're just foot like to neck on all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first off, let's start out light. Secret Invasion. Have you been watching it?
Bro, I saw the first episode. I haven't seen today's episode yet. I loved the first episode. Loved it,
man. What do you like most about it?
I love the feel of it. It wasn't, if you didn't know it was in like the Marvel universe, you wouldn't necessarily assume it was in the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
I really love the feel of it. I kind of discussed a lot like the Winter Soldier a little bit, that kind of that down to earth, powered down kind of storyline, which I really enjoy. And you know me, I'm a big Samuel Jackson guy. I just love Samuel Jackson. So
yeah.
They can put him in just about anything, and we got the Queen of Dragons in there, so this has got the makings of all kinds of excitement. Bring it on! Bring it on!
I like the way they did it, man. It's a nice little departure from all the movies that because how everybody says that they're just hammering you with humor, and it just kind of wears thin, especially in these scenes that get serious. I kept expecting to see it during Secret Invasion, and they do it, but they did it in that cool ass Samuel Jackson way.
Yes.
He's like, but that was it. And then the lady, I'm sorry, I probably should be spoiled this shit. Okay, so rewind that. I like the whole espionage thing that they got.
Yeah.
I like how each one of the characters kind of owns their own scene, and it just seems like it's going to be something that ties a lot of the future stuff together, but it's very interesting. I like it. I like what they do.
I would agree.
Yeah. So sorry about any of the spoilers. Didn't mean to ruin the Lady in Red for you or any of the other stuff. So Secret Invasion gets a thumbs up. Recommended watch. All right, let's start out
Two middle
with
fingers up. Two middle fingers up.
Yeah. Let's start off with MaFex or MaFex, however you want to pronounce it. You know, sophisticated or just a regular collector. So they announced this. I didn't grab a lot of this stuff because, to be honest with you, I don't really collect MaFex, but they announced they had the John Wick Chapter 4 Payback, and then they also had this MaFex Night Crusader Batman, and then they're also doing Bane.
Yeah.
I'll ask you the question afterwards, but any thoughts on this at all, really?
They all look real cool. The only MaFex line I've ever gotten into was their Dark Knight line. I've got the majority of those. I'm missing a couple of them. I thought they were really well done, but the John Wick figures and everything, I kind of keep holding out, just waiting on the soft good figures.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten any of the MaFex kind of realistic things, like I said, other than the Dark Knight trilogy was all those. And then I've got that Storm Collectibles Bane, and to me, I still like that Bane. I really love the huge. I mean, he's huge. He's massive. Yeah. And to me, that's what I want my Bane to be. I like the bigger one.
Yeah, it's got to be imposing, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Quick timeout. Technical on the play. We skipped a segment. Got to rewind it. So, got to go back for Show Me What You Got. Let's do that really quick.
Show me what you got.
Yeah, show me what you got. Show that.
Should I stand up and show you what I got? No, I'm just
no, because we're good. 11:53. We're good. She made it. She made it. Yo, hey, you said that right when minis came in, so
yeah, just in time. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what do you got?
Check it out. I'm gonna start with the packaging, right? Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Look at this thing, man.
Yeah.
Even the box is dope. The box, right? And what I kind of like, they've been doing with a lot of these figure obscura things, is that you got this magnetic feature.
Yeah.
So that just breaks down. So it gives you this really cool backdrop.
Oh, nice.
But I really like the way that just magnetically attaches to the box for storage. Look how cool that is. It kind of looks like a book, essentially.
Yeah.
So this is Sun Wukong, for those that don't know, from Mythic Legions Figura Obscura. And then it's even got the bio that talks about the Journey West on the back here. Because I don't know anything about the story, but after reading this, I do want to go back and watch the show or whatever, and check it out. It definitely seems interesting. So the box, I'm a big fan of boxes. When the box is this cool, though, it definitely raises the bar and the expectations for the figure.
Yeah.
Check this out. He doesn't disappoint. And this is kind of what I was telling you earlier. This guy, when you look at this thing and start thinking about, these are going to be the guys that's going to collaborate with Mezco for Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Look at the number of different the textures just on the front of this figure, from this the skirt here with the soft goods that's wired, and then you got the cod piece, kind of, if you will, there, and then the skirting on the armor itself, and the sculpt work on the little dragons, and the kind of the dragon scales on the shoulder, the sculpts. This thing is probably the most detailed figure that they've released to date. I even like the tail system that is completely brand new to them. It's all bendable, right? And it's got like a ball joint where it attaches to the body. So I would assume that this is going to be the technology that they'll use for any tailed figures that they have moving forward. Really impressive.
So is the whole tail wired? I know you put a couple, so anywhere you want to bend it, you can't.
That whole tail is flexible all the way up until that ball joint there. So you can do anything you want with this tail.
Yeah. Wow.
That thing is ridiculous. I got to imagine that's what they're going to continue to do with that. Oh, and then I knocked the ball joint thing. But so I guess you can kind of see that there. It's got a ball joint there where it attaches, instead of just having that kind of a plug, if you will, that you just have to kind of force in there. So really, really improved their system there. Really, really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. And the other thing that I like, which I think pretty sure this is the first, unless they've had other figures I haven't noticed yet, is so you've got 2 head sculpts.
Oh, shoot, monkey brains.
Right? So you got 2 of those.
Mm-hmm.
But what's also cool is they're not just head sculpts, but then they have face swaps.
Oh, are those plugs or magnets?
They're plugs.
Okay.
They're plugs, but they go on really pretty easy. So in essence, what they've given you is 8 head sculpts with just the 2 heads, because you've got 2 different heads and 4 faces that you can put on either one. So the looks there are crazy, crazy. I really like this look. And if you read the bio on his story, this is kind of like his transitioned look, if you will. But look at that guy.
And how much was this? I forgot.
I think this was 65.
$65. That's it.
$65 is all this guy was. 65. And then here's him in comparison to another Mythic Legion, which obviously they scale really well. He's a little smaller than Calabius there. And then here's him with one of my favorites, Lone Roach, which obviously they'll work together there. Those will go really well together. Really well. So this thing has everything that I would consider to be the wow factor with this guy. But the sculpting is so good. I can't wait to see what these guys will do with Mezco. It's going to have, Dr. Doom is going to have to be just texture on top of texture. And then you got a few other accessories. You got some alternate hands. They give you a couple scrolls. 2 different ones. I almost think you would consider this kind of a lotus blossom. What would you consider that? Is that a lotus blossom?
It looks like a
lotus blossom.
Some kind of fruit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some kind of papaya fruit or something.
And then you got this gourd that'll hang on his belt there. It's got the soft plastic piece in the end, so you can loop that on his belt. And then you got your alternate hands, which, once again, like we were talking about before, no one's ever looked at Mythic Legions and complained about the details and the sculpt work. And this one, they just took it next level. Look at that hand.
Yeah, so like you can actually see like the fur sculpted in there. Is that what?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. All the details are there. All the details are there. This thing is for people who are just like, easy pass.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw a lot of that, obviously all the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like we talked about before. I think a lot of times people can't transition to that mindset of like, this is just something that I can't afford. $60 is a lot for some people, especially in now today's day and age. But like, if you have something and you're looking at it like this and you can see, we're not even in high res, and I can see the detail in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think sometimes people can't get past that. The fact that they can't afford something, or they can't acquire it, and they're just like, that's a pass, instead of appreciating it. Because you can see that there's a lot of work that went into that.
Ton of work into it. Yeah. It wasn't one of them things they just threw together, that's for sure. Which I don't know if they've had a figure yet that they just threw together. But, the other thing people ought to really appreciate with this is, we all know Mythic Legions uses a lot of reuse of, but I don't think there's a reused part on this figure. This is all 100% new tooling. I mean, the arms are different because they're longer. You got these feet. Those aren't off of any other figure. The legs, all of this. This is all 100% brand new retooling. Brand new. And look at that. Thing's ridiculous, dude.
They'll probably expand on this too, right? They probably have other characters probably lined up for this. Even now, they have, what is it?
I mean, the box kind of teases at least. You've got this lion figure here.
Ooh, tiger. Yeah,
they tease that right on the box. So I almost got to imagine you're going to have to get him, because he's just too kind of front and center for them not to do them in the box. You got some characters there in the background there that maybe you'll see.
Oh, yeah. That's how they do it, man.
So I can't imagine this is a one and done. And I think this was too big of a hit for this to be a one and done. Beautiful. But the box, everything, beautiful. Beautiful. And of course, I did the all in. You had to do the all in. So I got the pin and the
kind of
mug,
yeah,
the pin and the mug. So
yeah.
not as cool as the figure though. They're nice, but they're not as cool as the figure. He's even got a pair
Well,
of Sun Wukong ones.
look at that, man. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't see how
ridiculous.
anybody can say that that's not worth the $60, especially with the sculpting, man. You know, I don't know, whatever. Like,
That thing's impressive, man.
oh gosh, yeah, yeah. The Monkey Kings from Asian culture. I don't know much more than that. When I was, lurking in the Mythic Legions group
Yeah,
and looking at different people put, input when this figure was coming out, there was a lot of people that said that they stuck to the source material very well. And
yeah,
I think I read something where they actually reached out just to make sure that the history and the character was represented properly.
yeah,
And like you said, it just doesn't seem not only with just the way they built it, but also the story building and the arc.
yeah,
It seems like they put a lot of thought into it, and they just didn't half-ass it, like you
yeah.
said for the whole figure. So it's cool.
Even the little synopsis they give you back here on the back of this, I mean, they do
Yeah,
a pretty good job of kind of really breaking down the story in, I mean, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 6 paragraphs. I mean, it's 6 paragraphs, but it does a really nice job of explaining to you
man.
the DC needs to take a lesson. Nobody get upset, but DC needs to take. This is how you give a background story real quick. This is six paragraphs, and you understand, who this figure is, where he come from, and where he's going. So very impressive.
Mm.
Very impressive. I got the Noda Studio ones too, and to me, you can't really compare these figures. Kind of night
Mm.
and day. So it's not like I have one, so there's no room for the other one. But
Yeah.
really impressed with it.
Well, for mine, I'll do mine really quick. Uh, mine's this.
Yeah, that thing's nice, man.
It is very nice. It's not as nice as what you just showed, but what's cool about this is a friend of mine. He actually did a little bit of work for me, and I didn't show this, did I? I don't
Not on
think I
here,
did.
no.
All right, so he did a little work for me. So Dylan.
Dylan.
So yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, really cool, man. Did this for me. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for doing that. I was trying to work on a shot, but I'll probably get it out. But he did everything, man. He
I bet that
put,
glows really well once you put the bulb or the what would you call it? The domes over the top. I
yeah.
bet it really gives it a nice aura underneath the dome. Is that what you would consider that? The domes under aura?
Yes, I need to find those because I just sent this to him. So, but it lights up pretty well.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I've been messing around with. I was just looking at his work and what he did. He did a lot of wiring, a lot of soldering with this. Put a switch on here, and then he also made it where the batteries I can change them out. I don't have to do a whole bunch of complicated rewiring or anything. Just
No,
change
that's
out the
nice.
batteries. Yeah, I just need to make a base for it. But so, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for doing that.
Dylan.
You're the five greatest fuckers in the world. All right, so we get back on track. Yay! So we did that. CC was like, "Man, you're skipping it. You're skipping it." Oh yeah, so MaFex, we already talked about that. But real quick question for you with that. Um, and I've wondered this too. So since they did this and they had the new movie come out, would and somebody mentioned this in the I had this written down, but somebody mentioned it in the comments too. If they did another version of John Wick, if Mezco offered it, would you be interested?
Oh, for sure. I've been one of the few people that I liked the first one. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
The normal head, if you will, wasn't the greatest sculpt, but the
Hmm.
damaged alternate head sculpt,
Yeah.
I still say is the best 112 Keanu Reeves that you've gotten so far.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why there was such a discrepancy between the two, but that damaged one, he's kind of spot on.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I leave on my John Wick. And yeah, that was one of the few figures that we've had in the past with the single jointed elbows. And that might have been the one part that they dropped the ball on, was that part.
Yeah. I think
And even
everybody
they
thought.
would probably go back and say that if they could do it all over again, I'm sure they would probably do it. But
Yeah,
the
he
figure
did.
itself, I thought looks great.
Yeah, he did. You said that in the hangout. That was something that you really wish they could redo. But yeah, dude, I think it was the timing. I think everybody had that expectation. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's been taking this long. This thing should come out decked out." So, but I didn't know if people would even consider, doing it. Obviously, they're going to make a whole bunch of these. Hopefully, not as many as the Fast and Furious. But from what I understand, they're shooting another one too, right? I think so.
And I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody, but I still think there's room for a sequel.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I heard. G.I. Joe. Holy crap!
The line is dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually had that one down there too. So, Yo Joe June is wrapped up. I had a picture of, it's probably pushed down farther, but I had a picture of the progress for the Dragonfly right now. I think it was like 14K or something like that. I think there's 20 days. But I thought this was very interesting. I wanted to show this. So this is the roundtable notes, and I got this from the classifieds group. So shout out to them. I can't remember the guy, but a couple of things I saw on here that was actually really interesting. They cleared up. This is cool because it clears up rumors. You know how like I talked about this a lot, like groups and misinformation, and it just spirals into a whole bunch of other stuff. One person or two people can say something, and the whole group takes it as gold, even if it's just somebody who doesn't even know what they're talking about. Somebody could say, "Oh, they're gonna make a John Wick figure tomorrow." They go, "What?" And then it just spreads, and you're like, "Who's this person?" You don't even just made their profile yesterday. So I think it's cool that they took the initiative to say, "Hey, this is what we've been talking about. This is actual information from us. This is what you should take it." And so they kind of cleared up the airborne rumor. They said that the SDCC 2023, there's going to be a very important GI Joe panel. Pre-orders that confirmed for today, not tomorrow. This is kind of old. They also verified that the His Tank lab is scheduled for the fall shipment. I saw a bunch of people say, "Oh, they're going to ship the His Tank tomorrow." And then hand-painted HasLab Dragonfly samples were sent out. I think they started showing some of that. I saw a picture of it, but then it disappeared. And this is something I thought was really good. The G.I. Joe brand team is looking for feedback on creating new and never-seen vehicles for the classified line. So that means they're pulling information from the community and from probably polls and stuff like that to kind of like, give collectors what they want. And the last part, the last thing was really quick was Serpentor and Dr. Mindbender, they confirmed that those are not going to be available for reproduction. And I went to go check eBay and I was like, jeez.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good stuff out of it. I'm a huge advocate for companies like communicating with collectors. I think this is the perfect example of like what helps collectors in the long run. And then also another thing that they did was they're open to this conversation of what they can do better or what the fans want to do.
Yeah.
So hopefully people will take this opportunity to see this and say, okay, yeah, let's give input and try to make the line better, not only for the company, but also for themselves. So those are my takeaways. Do you have any?
What vehicle would you like to see?
Something small. Dude, I'm telling you, they keep putting out all these big vehicles, man. You know how it's like they show the teases and somebody said, oh, they're going to do a Rattler.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. I love vehicles, but vehicles in this scale, you're just running out of room very quickly.
Yeah.
I still don't know what I'm going to do with those His Tanks. I don't, bro. I was like looking around. I'm like, what am I going to do? Maybe some of the smaller stuff. You remember like the claws, like that, or just some of the smaller stuff.
Yeah.
What was that one? It was like they had Bazooka on it, and he's kind of like leaned forward. It's kind of like a Tron motorcycle, but it had a tread, it had tread wheels and stuff like that. And he's like this.
Yeah, it was a something sled.
Yeah, just smaller stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I think that works. And then every once in a while, maybe do like a bigger vehicle.
Yeah.
But these guys that are asking for like Sky Strikers and flags and terror drones, I'm like, man, you guys don't know what you're doing, man. Where are you gonna put that?
I would love to see the Cobra Wolf.
What was that?
That was the white one that had the snow treads on it.
Oh yeah.
With them just releasing the Snow Serpent, or the pre-order for the Snow Serpent. Oh, and they kind of, they had the wolf outfit on it. So I don't know if there's kind of an homage, maybe a little foreshadowing that they'll give us the Cobra Wolf. But that was my favorite vehicle as a kid, was the Cobra Wolf. I love that thing. It was kind of, it's not real big. It's kind of a mid-sized vehicle, so it's not, it's not Sky Striker large. But it'd be a good size. I think it'd be easy enough for them to make. Give me a Cobra Wolf.
What about Sergeant Slaughter's little tank?
Yeah. But what was that? The T. Why am I drawing a blank on that?
I don't remember.
What was that?
I don't remember all the names. I just know that they had smaller vehicles, and it would just work. Like the Trouble Bubble, I think that's a good one. It's small. You can grab a couple of those, but it still adds to it. It's when you start getting to these bigger vehicles, like the Tomahawk or Rattler, the Cobra, the Cobra Raven. I mean, just stuff like that. Conquest X30. When you start getting into these vehicles like that, it's like, where are you going to put that stuff? So, what is it? The eyes are bigger than what your stomach can handle. So,
yes, it's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, a lot. So Yojo June, they did the Classified Series pre-orders. They showed Firefly, Nunchuck, Crimson, Viper.
You got 6 of those, right? Got to have 6 Vipers.
Well, I pre-ordered 3 of these, but I was like, man, this is too much. Like after a while, I don't know how many versions. And I don't knock companies for repaints or redeco, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I don't, but after, like, I like this character, but I was like, I'll have a bunch of these, man. I got
this. Is what, the 4th color variation of the Viper?
I don't know, but I remember I was bagging mine up the other day. I thought, I sent you guys pictures. I was like, Jesus. Like the regular Viper, I remember they were hard to get. I got like at least 10 of those.
Yeah.
But this looks good. I think one of the things that they revealed with this is this was
somebody. The screen's not up.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. So we missed all of this too. Boom. There you go. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So this is Nunchuck. This is his first reveal. They said that they did some redesign on his armor and on the shoulders and stuff like that. I guess Lenny said he had a lot of fun developing this. This was a Pulse exclusive. You could get this. I'm sorry, no, this is on Pulse, and it was an Amazon exclusive. The picture of Chris, damn. Looked really good.
It does look really good.
Yeah. That's today, so you can get those. I think they're still up. Crimson Viper, just a redeco. It looked like just repaint. The colors are supposed to match the Crimson Guard, so that's supposed to be a good color match. Looks pretty cool. It was on Pulse. You could get it. I think it's still available. And then this one was probably the highlight for me. Firefly.
Looks really good.
Oh yeah, man. A lot of good stuff with this. He said that.
Does he have his phone?
I got to look at the thing because I was watching the Jones. I was trying to pre-order. And I was trying to get this. And I was like, guys, it's just a bunch of stuff in the group. Oh my gosh. And then so one of the things that they said with this is this knife is used to be on the older one, and he wanted to make it functional, so that knife is supposed to be functional. They gave him this weapon has a suppressor, the goggles removable. I'm trying to go off and remember.
You gotta admire a guy that appreciates functional holsters.
Yeah. It would be cool to meet this guy because he seems like he really loves his job, and he seems like he'd be open to have conversations with you or whatever would make it better. But you could tell he puts a lot of time, effort, and thought into this. He obviously is a fan. I'm not saying anything against Emily. I'm just saying Lenny seems like he's very invested in his designs. Because look at that.
Oh, he's got a phone. It's right there in his hand. Well, it's not a phone, but kind of a transmitter.
Yeah. He said this is the detonator for the little car. And it actually plugs into it.
I like it.
Yeah, the RC drone, it plugs into the backpack that he has mines. They attach to the backpack. And I told you about that. There's a on Pulse. This one looks like it's easy one to get. So that was it for GI Joe, and that's it for Yojo June.
I like it.
Did you pick up any of these?
I haven't bought anything yet, but I'll get them all.
Yes,
I'll get them all. I gotta have 3 of the Vipers. I have to get that, and I definitely got to get Firefly and the other one. I'll get them all.
Yeah.
There's no turning back at this point.
Yeah, there's not, because like once you, especially when you start getting them, it's like, yeah, it's just a habit.
Yeah. And I swear they're just getting better and better.
They are.
Triple T, there it is. I don't know why I couldn't think of that name.
Mario. Mario's our research guy. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mario. The Fang Chopper would be good. Yeah, and that's small too. That's a smaller one, you know?
Yeah.
Firefly looks dope. I was worried about the Mezco release, but then
I'm surprised they haven't done some of the playset type stuff.
Yeah.
Like the little mortar launcher kits and things like they had back in the day, and little like with the tent and that kind of stuff. And
yeah.
There was a bunch of little mini kind of play sets, if you will, back in the day they used to have. I'm surprised they haven't given some of that. I'd buy them.
Yeah, and those would work. Not only with the line, but that would work like with cross line too. You could just use that for everybody. So
yeah.
And those are easy to store.
Yeah.
You know? I gotta research that because I remember those packs. You would just get them. I know they kind of like did it with scrap iron. They gave you a little launcher and all that other stuff. I think those would go really well.
Oh yeah.
So moving on. More stuff. Oh, there it is. There you go. Fire the production guy. Next is McFarlane. So this got put out.
Yeah.
I don't have a Todd McFarlane impression. So we've heard that you loud and clear. Due to popular demand in coming weeks, we will be releasing a Batmobile and Batman combo based on the '89 Batman. So movie design. So I don't know if they're gonna redeco that gray part.
I bet you they do.
Yeah. So I was wondering.
It's gonna be more true to the original.
Yeah. So do you think that people that actually bought it are going to be mad about it, or return it?
I mean, I guess you can't really complain too much because of the price point.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have it a year earlier than everybody else. You know what I mean? He's making this announcement now. It means it'll probably be out next year. So you have plenty of time to play with yours and get your $50 worth.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that Batwing. Did he say? No, they just doing the Batmobile, right? So they're not reading because that Batwing was what, $260 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now maybe if they were redoing that one, I'd be a little saltier. But the $50 Batmobile, I don't think anybody should be that upset over. Yeah. I don't think anyway, because what's a year worth to you in collector dollars? That's almost invaluable, isn't it? People don't want to wait a year if they can get it now.
Yeah, it's cool that he took this stance about it. I mean, obviously he must have heard a bunch of feedback and was like, let's just try to fix this. But like you said, I mean, he's the go-to guy for vehicles, man. They're cheap, they're passable. I mean, I don't need. I like mech suit. I like vortex strike suits and stuff like that, but I don't need everything to light up or sometimes you just want something in the background to kind of like just have there. So I mean,
he's at a price point that's tough to compete with.
Yeah, especially when that stuff goes on sale. Oh my gosh! Seriously, all you have to do is wait. I remember when they had it wasn't that big 4-wheeler that's the Batmobile with the shell. It was the one without it. And they put that on Amazon for like, I forgot what it was, like $15-20 maybe or something.
Yeah.
I bought like 4 of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, because that's what it cost me to buy the one with the shell on it. So, I mean, if you could hold out, it's easier to just kind of wait. So,
yeah.
He's a go-to guy for this stuff. Bandai. Now, really quick. It looks like they put out a Flash. Have you seen this movie yet?
No, sir. You?
Not either. No, I haven't. I watched Spider-Verse and none of these movies. I've been taking care of her, so I've been able to get out. But I've been trying to find somebody that has seen this because I keep seeing reviews saying it's a flop and
it's not doing good in the box office.
Yeah,
Not that it's alone. I mean, there's a lot of movies that didn't do well at the box office. Doesn't mean it's a bad movie, but
Yeah. Well,
I think it
this
shows you the way people's habits are changing.
yeah. SHF, they're putting out their Flash Batman. This looks cool. There's just so many Batman and everything. I don't think I need this, but it looks cool. But I had to throw Bandai in there. And then Mezco. I guess we gotta drudge through this. I'll push through. Let's do a chat break real quick. I got almost all the Bat Bites. Yeah, same thing. Never saw the Flash film. Yeah. McFarlane's doing great. He is, man. I'm telling you, he's go-to guy for vehicles. Her Keaton is the only good thing about it, but even then, people are putting people in the seats. Yeah, she said, "Oh, that face." Oof, that face. She said, "I didn't say it." All right. It pains me to go through this, but I guess we'll talk about Mezco. All right. So, 22 more days till MezcoCon. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I thought it was over already.
Yeah. It began like 3 weeks ago, right? And we're already done. No, it's not. So, yeah. So MezcoCon, 22 more days. Again, it will start on July 19th. That's preview night. That's when you'll later on in the evening you'll start seeing little things here and there. It ends July 23rd. That's what, Sunday? Yeah. So which means technically they have about 3 more opportunities to pretty much F5 your wallet into oblivion.
Yeah.
Super City, Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Not a Brock Lesnar, but so hear me out. Because I'm wondering, we got 3 more weeks. What do you think we might get in 3 weeks? If at all, if anything at all.
Man, here's what's crazy. You got 3 weeks left. You've already gotten 3 112 figures.
Yeah.
But I can't believe that they would just announce all their 112 announcements and then not have anything the last 3 weeks, right? So I almost got to believe that they might take a week or 2 off. But I almost got to think there's at least one more, right? Am I wrong for thinking that? Because they normally kind of mix it up. You'll get some 5-point stuff, some stuff for some other lines. They haven't announced anything from the other lines yet.
Yeah.
So I really expect, maybe some other things, 5-point next week. But the grand finale is almost always something from the 112 line. It really makes you want. If this is the warm up, what in the hell is going to be the showstopper? I'm a little concerned. My wallet's concerned.
Because I don't think anybody saw today coming at all.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
So. Hey Adam. Hey man. I've been talking to Adam all week, man. Yeah. So this shirt, this is from a friend, fellow member of the group, Jake Laws. I always mispronounce his IG name. But since everybody's here, I'll let everybody know. We'll get a proper pronunciation from him on Friday because he'll be doing a hangout with us on Friday. So it'll be like a community bio series. We haven't done one of those in a while, so we'll bring him on and we'll do that on Friday. So, but yes, Jake makes great shirts. Got a bunch of them from him. You can hit him up and see if he does commissions and stuff like that. Sometimes he gets a little busy, but I've worn a couple of shirts on the show and I love his work, man. Love it. So that's what that is. I think that you hit the nail on the head with the whole scheduling thing.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people know, like, they've done this a couple of times before where they've announced that they're going to do all these reveals. This one, they kind of just said, hey, this is the date that, MezcoCon is coming, and they're going to be doing reveals.
Yeah.
They haven't done the official itinerary. I know there's 3 weeks. I was wondering what you thought, but I know they got other lines, kind of like what you said. I I don't think Indy was considered a Mezco con exclusive, so that's kind of taken off the deck, but it still holds that slot. I still think that they're probably going to do maybe one more 112 figure, and then maybe something from the other lines to give them some shine because 112 has pretty much been dominating everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got Living Dead dolls. They don't really do that for them that much, but maybe 5 points because they did last year. They did 5 points. They did
Yeah.
Sin City and they did Godzilla. So maybe they'll have a 5 points in there.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, maybe something else from the line.
Nothing kaiju yet.
Oh yeah, the Kaiju monsters. Yeah, the Kaiju collection line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited to see what they put out there, man. They have so much stuff. I think I put a question in the group because we have this list of pre-orders, and some of it's really good stuff that we haven't even seen yet in person. So I was asking people, what do you think that you will see there as far as on the pre-order list? And then what would you like to see them put in there? I think they'll do a good mix, but a guy in the group, he had a really good suggestion. It was Dan Suarez. He said, check this out. He said he wanted to see a 5 points Captain Nemo and Nautilus set. And I was like, whoa, that's actually a good idea. You got like, like a little.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I'm a mark for them. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we probably got a couple more little lineups coming. Maybe we'll see the Turtles, Gotham by Gaslight, some of the other stuff that they have. Oh, Leatherface, yeah. Thank you for transitioning for us. Suplex City, bitch. So, charge reminder went out for this on Monday. Remember, we always got to go back till we get to the future. So, this went out. They put it on their website that it was actually shipping, but I haven't seen anything in my FedEx stuff. I haven't seen anybody in the group say that they've gotten this. And like I said before, usually I put this stuff up so everybody knows that, hey, this is charged and it's starting to ship, because you know how sometimes FedEx, unless you're Cory, they just drop stuff on your on your porch.
Yeah. Right.
No, sir, Mr. Cressy. It's not going to happen today, sir. So keep an eye out for this. Maybe if you ordered this from them, it'll just show up. I haven't seen like the distributors. I haven't seen them say anything in the third-party sites. So yeah, remember, this is coming. They charge on the 26th. Should be shipping. And in our little social experiment,
gotta love a good social experiment.
Yeah, do it all the time, man. Do it all the time. So in our little social experiment, what it did is Firefly has waitlisted. From my understanding, this is probably the first time anybody's heard this. I haven't seen this in the group or anything. And I actually sat on this for a week as a social experiment just to see if anybody would catch it or put it out there. Didn't see anything. So hey, breaking news a week later. Firefly has waitlisted. This happened a while back. Yeah. So let's watch and see it. What happens?
Yeah. This just in.
I'm sorry. Little petty. Get that out of there. Oh, what is this?
I think it blindsided everybody on this one.
Yeah. So, in a last-ditch effort to save the company from going under, Mezco has acquired a high-profile license line to dig themselves into more financial ruins. When you say this stuff out loud, it doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. So if you're keeping track of that, right? I wanted to say this out loud. This is the petty part. So if you're keeping track of that, you've got Conan, you have DC properties, you have Marvel properties, you have TMNT, you have G.I. Joe, Alien, Predator. I'm not sure if it's public domain because I hear there's something about Warren Beatty, but they got the Dick Tracy line, the Shadow. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I scratched that because it's not Warren Beatty. He's just doing cinematic. This would be considered like the Chester Gould kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So Dick Tracy, the Shadow, and now the Indiana Jones line.
Yeah.
Notice I didn't say it, Evil Dead. Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, right?
It's no shortage.
Yeah. So if you hear somebody saying the company is going broke or it's going out of business, fiction.
Yeah.
I don't think a company that's going out of business would be able to acquire high profile lines.
Yeah.
And also, again, petty segment. If a company is pushing their IP, you do know that that's what is paying for all of this, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of companies do it.
Yeah. I know it sucks, man. I know it sucks to see people happy.
Yeah.
You guys got to come up with some new conspiracy theories, man. At least ones that are like rooted in better like facts. I just saw so much stuff today, man. So they did this pre-order. Again, this is the petty section. So they did this pre-order, right? And this was what they showed, correct? And
Yeah.
this is them announcing that they were going to do the Raiders of the Lost Ark, correct?
Yeah.
And I saw somebody comment. They were like, "Hey, his likeness doesn't look anything like what he should look like on a figure." And then I saw this, and I'm like, this is just the actual movie poster.
Right.
And I was like, what do you think it's going to be?
Right.
Like, oh god. Anyway, so remember, pushing all that aside, we're done with all that stuff. Again. So, Indiana Jones Temple Edition goes up today, 1 o'clock. Spoiler, you already got it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Item secured.
That was going to be another streak. I was like, how many figures is he going to pass on? I had a bunch of people ask me. They're like, "Hey, did he?" I'm not lying to you. I had like people message me today, and they go, "Did Cory get it?"
Yeah.
I was like, MC got it. I was like, I haven't talked to CC today to see. And again, I was like, it's going to be a surprise.
I did get it. I did get it.
So it's confirmation.
I did get it. Yeah. Rest easy, folks. I did pick this one up. You can pass on this figure. I mean, this is something that we've talked about, off and on for quite a while, wanting to see, especially MC. But I think we were all in agreement that, if they ever decided to go down this road, that, we'd be all in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is there's a lot to unpack with this, man. Because, I mean, me, I can drag out anything, but there's a lot to do with this. So, really quick, okay, 130, we'll just get over the crack. 130. You can order 6 of these if you'd like.
Yeah.
It's an exclusive limited edition, 136. It's up for pre-order. This was very interesting. It's going to be April, June. Of course, you get the jokes. Oh, it's going to be 4 years, 10 years. I don't know any figure that's taken that long, but evidently it's going to be in 2024. What's the over-under? Do you think they'll push this back once or twice or what?
I'm going to say it shows up in the original window.
Ooh, okay.
It seems like they've done a better job with a lot of these announcements of almost over-projecting. So if anything, it'll deliver early.
I'm going to say $1, Bob.
$1.
We do our prices right. $1. Yeah. MC did nail the price on this. So he did pretty good. Yeah.
He did.
You know what? I'll say one pushback. Just one. One push. Somebody's going to record that. There was something on here, and I didn't. Oh, you know what? Hey. So it's not on here because this was an earlier screen grab. But if you go to the listing now, on here, it'll tell you the pre-order window is open now, and it's going to close on July 19th. So there's that communication we talked about. How people want more of it. And then also this actually, I think it's a good move on their part because people have time to like look at pictures, get your finances, kind of squared away.
Yeah.
It's not a buy it now. It's only $32.50, so you can get in there. You can order it. I've also seen a lot of group vendors buying, cases, or I guess 6, because that's all they can get. And they've actually been offering that too. So some of those guys, they don't take money down. So there's options out there if you want to get this. It looks like a great figure. So oh, that's an early spring grab. They added that later on. So, but yeah, this is July 19th. I'll run through the pictures. You want to share your thoughts on it?
It looks really good to me. Really good. Once again, I think he's got the right accessories. We were talking about this last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like I could have saved my $40 on the on the Temple Escape one that I bought just to get that pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the one picture on here with the boulder, I thought he was going to come with the boulder too. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna get the boulder too, because we were talking about that last night. But man, I think this thing's going to be solid. I mean, we know how Mezco always delivers when it comes to like the textures and things like that. The only thing I don't like is that sack you couldn't give us a soft goods sack.
Oh, this
instead of that molded plastic one.
Yeah.
I'd like a soft goods sack. Hopefully it'll make that change. Maybe get that plastic molded thing out of there. Seemed like it'd be pretty easy just to make a sack, right? Of all the things Mezco has produced, he couldn't give me just a sack.
Well, I'm pretty sure Gridiron Studios is gonna do some things with this. You know how they already did the whip and they did the pistol and the holster and stuff for the Hasbro.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're looking at this figure right now, going, "Oh, we can do this and this," and maybe they'll take your sack suggestion as well.
Be interesting to see how they do the hat.
How they do the hat? Oh, this, yeah. I wonder if it was hard plastic because I was like, I want to, and if it's removable because for some reason it's not letting me go. So hold on a second. Let me refresh.
One of the figures had a really nice soft hat, wasn't it? Which one was that?
I know Atticus Doom has kind of like a hat. Freddy had one. There's something wrong with my stupid internet.
Was it Necroverse? Did Necroverse Doom have one? A pretty soft hat? Kind of a soft plastic hat?
Mm-hmm. That is so weird. It's not letting me go. Of course, technical difficulty. So while I'm trying to figure that out.
That shot looks really good.
It does. Anything else that you didn't like about it?
Just that sack. That's the only thing that bothered me that really stood out. Everything else looks solid to me.
Yeah. The
hard plastic spider web thing I wasn't real thrilled over. I think they could do that a little differently, make it look a little more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Almost if you did maybe more of a netting instead of that hard plastic, make it look more like a cobweb. I think they could do.
Yeah.
Will we get a surprise? They seem to have been kind of sneaking things in from time to time that they don't necessarily share.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of makes you wonder if they'll sneak something in. MC said, "Where's the monkey? We didn't get a monkey with this one."
Is he in here?
No, I mean, we were talking about it before. He was talking about,
Oh, yeah.
Where's the?
Well, the thing is like that's the good thing about collecting the adventure series. At least that's what I can justify. Is like you can take some of that stuff and you can use it with him.
For sure. There's some great props of that adventure line.
Yeah. For some reason, my internet's done.
Well, it can't be your internet, though.
Well, I'm going through my phone. This is through my computer. I'm doing all that stuff through there. So
the storm knocking out?
I'm wondering. Probably working on that. So people don't.
The storm ate your internet.
Mm-hmm. They don't like Death by PowerPoint anyway. So as you can see, it said reloading, right? Piece of monkey poo. Piece of whatever that is. What's that guy called?
Piece of Wukong?
Yeah, piece of Wukong. Not saying that sucks. I had a good skit ready for this too. My little skit. It was gonna be funny. Oh, it sucks.
Just in time. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. Well, so we don't have the pictures. One of the things that stuck out to me was the Polystone. MC made me that altar too. I feel bad. But they have that Polystone altar. It had the moss and everything else like that. I think that's pretty cool. I know it's not cool for international customers because I saw a guy say that his shipping, which averages $50, yikes. He said it was $85.
Wow.
That he's just paying and shipping.
Wow.
So yeah, I was like, God, man, that really sucks. And then I thought it was funny. I can't pull it up. I was going to, but you can't do it now. But it said if you look at the product description, it says leather, but they put it in quotes. So
Yeah.
it's like they know that it's like faux leather, and they're just messing with people about it. I did see something else down at the bottom. It said, was it Indy is recruited by the Allied forces or something like that, and it's like before rival, was it Belloc, Rennie Belloc and the Nazis. And the first thing I thought of was like, oh man, maybe we're gonna get Beloch, Belloc.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, maybe we're gonna get Nazis.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see somebody finally knock that off, right?
Yeah.
We steady wanting them.
Yeah. Or German soldiers. We're supposed to call them German soldiers. So, yeah. Even though it's all over the History Channel.
Yeah.
Still stalling. May come up. Oh, and I also saw down at the bottom, it said collector box. So
no tin.
Yeah, I thought maybe because this was such a big offering, and the price tag, maybe we'd be getting something a little bit more, like a Mr. Freeze kind of thing. But
yeah, if they had done like an Arc 10, how good would that have been, right?
Yeah, or something, like, oh yeah. Uh-oh.
They could have done like one of those storage crates, like when they at the end of the movie where they got everything loaded up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's a lot of cool stuff they could have done with that packaging. A lot of cool stuff.
I saw a bunch of people talking today too about the fact that because they branded this like at the bottom Lucas, and we were kind of talking about this in the pre-show.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, do you think that this leads into them doing Star Wars?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Paige. I hope not. I hope that they don't dip their toe in Star Wars, because it's gonna be another one of those things, man. How do you say no? I can only imagine what Mezco could do with that line. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of great figures there that I'm sure they could do a really great job with. It'd be incredible. Mezco Vader, oh my gosh, how great would that be?
I'm wondering, do you think they could do that? Like, I'm wondering how they would do it.
Well, they're already working on their lightsabers. We saw that with Cadet Gomez. They're working on their lightsaber technology. So, man, I don't know. It'd be one of those things where it's either going to be a huge success or a huge failure, because that's one of those fan bases that you can't half-ass it. Because if you half-ass it, they're gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna get in it, you got to commit to it and make sure that it's a home run. You can't cheap out on it.
Yeah. And have we talked about like ones that would be like front runners that you would want to see like right after that?
Yeah. Right? Well, what do you think it would take for them to launch the line? Because you'd have to go big, you would think, in order to launch that.
I think that you would have to. I think you'd have to like put this out and kind of show that there's the market for it.
Yeah.
And then go back. That's what I was wondering about the Lucas thing. And then go back to Lucas or whoever that part of the market and say, these are our projected, this is what we've done. We're pretty successful with it. We'd like to take a stab at Star Wars.
Yeah.
It just seems like that there's too much coincidence with it, Like I know it's part of branding and everything, and they got to get credit, but they put that Lucas thing on. I wish I could pull it up, but they put that Lucas thing on there. It's like, wow.
I would almost say they'd had like, two strategies to kind of go with. You could go with the modern Star Wars, in which, could you imagine how popular a Mandalorian figure would be if they could do that? A Mezco Mandalorian with Grogu and the pram and all that stuff that they could put with that.
Yeah.
Or I think if you went with the original trilogy to kind of appeal to the old heads, if you will, a Vader Kenobi kind of a dual pack. Oh, dude, I'd be all in that. Vader Kenobi, be pretty awesome. But a Mandalorian, if they were looking for the low hanging fruit, which would probably be the easier to do and hook people, if Mezco did a Mandalorian, I think they could do an awesome job. I've got that third-party Mandalorian figure. That thing's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. So I'd love to see what Mezco could do with that. A lot of textures and stuff there to play with.
Yeah, I think they could do it, but like you said, I'm wondering if the expectation would be like really high on that part of it. You'd really have to like really knock it out the park, man.
Well, you talk about one of the things where it would have to be screen accurate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you can't release a Star Wars figure and it be a little off. Those guys don't play that stuff. Like it's got to be, if this is the way it looked on the screen, it's going to have to be that way when you make that figure.
Yeah. The sad truth about it is, even if it was overwhelmingly accepted in the group, like there still would be that, like, you know, that small.
Oh, for sure.
That small percentage. I saw like today, not just one person. So if you're watching this, I doubt you are, but not just one person. I saw a couple people actually mention this, like that this figure, and this is where picture would help, but that this figure is single jointed. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, man, like, because you get these announcements. This is a big announcement.
Yeah.
And you just see people nitpicking it. It's like, man, come on, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it for a little bit, you know? Like save it for tomorrow or something like that. But like as I was saying, like, you know, people want to like set the happiness out of it. Like just kind of oh yeah, my mic is bad. Sorry about that, man. I'm gonna change that up. I apologize. D said that last week. But the whole I saw somebody say something about like it was single jointed. And I was like, this is just the promotional pictures. And most of that stuff, to be honest, a lot of it looked like it was digitally enhanced or photoshopped. And so it's kind of playing into that same thing that we've seen before. You know? And then somebody pointed out, oh well, the points of articulation was like 28. And I was like, there's other figures that have 28 points of articulation that had double jointed elbows. You know, they had like the Golden Age Batman, some of the even the recently released ones. Like I think it was what was it? I had it here. Nemo had it, Constantine had it, 78 Superman had it, the Nautilus crew had it. Those all had 28 points of articulation. So just because it has 28, it doesn't mean that it's going to be single jointed. And so a lot of that stuff, I think it's telling like later on. It's cool to see this because, like you said too, maybe they'll put some extra stuff in there. But if you look at the clothing on the promotional pictures as well, that stuff is pretty loose and baggy. And that's nothing against them. I'm just saying you could tell that this is their rough draft that they put out.
Yeah.
So.
And it's looking like this is going to be almost one of those kind of a made-to-order offerings. So, you know, there's plenty of time for adjustments to be made with this thing.
Yeah. And we've seen it like multiple times. Constantine looked like that. If you look at some of the Crow, if you go back and you look at some of those listings on their website right now, they haven't changed that. But that's something that we talked about too, updating the promotional pre-order, and just maybe making a banner saying, "Hey, these are the new product images. This is kind of an update." But even if you go back and look at their website now at the Crow and all that stuff, that figure does not look like what they showed.
Yeah.
In the promotional images. So, you know, relax this, calm down.
10 milligrams.
And enjoy the good stuff, bro. Like it's a major announcement.
Yeah.
A major announcement. Yeah. I don't think if you asked anybody last year, it'd be a wish thing because we've talked about it. But if you said, "Hey, man, they're going to do Indiana Jones," you know somebody would say, "Yeah, that's bullshit. They're not going to do it. They're never going to get that license."
Right.
You know, so take this in, enjoy it. You know?
Right.
Yes, that's definitely great. But yeah, we talked about that. What was another thing that I had for this? That was that. I'm trying to get this to pop up because half this stuff doesn't work unless I have it. It sucks.
Is there another license out there you'd like to see them go grab?
As far as like with Lucas or with
anybody, any license that they haven't obtained yet, you think that you'd like to see them dip their toe in?
You know, Nothing like comes to mind like right off the bat. I think they do really good with the throwback stuff, the vintage stuff. I saw somebody mentioned in here in the chat about they mentioned about the Rocketeer. We've seen like these little glimpses of those items and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you really think about this, that Indiana Jones line, they could go pretty deep into that.
Yeah.
And it's obvious that Hasbro, from what they showed today, I think they're pretty much. They didn't show any pipeline figures. It seems like they're pretty much after this next wave. Maybe they're
Yeah.
considering evaluating after that wave is done, see what the projections are. But it doesn't seem like they want to do any more figures. They didn't show anything.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe said that they have from that screenshot, they have stuff planned for 2025.
Yeah. No signs of slowing down with them.
Yeah. So Indy, and then if they do Star Wars, oh my gosh, that's a lot to undertake, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would never get a Han Solo, so I'm already out. You never know, man.
I'm not sure why you would say never. You've already got half of him. I don't know why you wouldn't get a Han Solo. So almost might be an easy transition. Once you've already got the sculpt, why would you not?
Customizers are going to have a field day with this. You're going to see these guys putting kits together.
Oh, for sure.
Toys, all these other guys, they'll put Han Solo kits together. I know he has the boots, the workman boots, whatever these Doc Martin, but
yeah.
What do? You take off, I don't know if the bodies will be compatible, because this one, I think the height on Indy is, I think it was 17 centimeters. So that's taller than your normal one. I think. Where was it? Hold on a second. It's so he's as tall as Death Adder, Nosferatu, Michael Myers, and Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom.
Yeah, so those are tall figures. So I don't know if the parts will be compatible, but I mean, just off the top of my head, what do? You just take off the boots. You'd have to look at the shin and the foot pegs, but you slap on one of those. Who has it? One of the guys that just has boots, has a Squad Command or something like that, or even the new one, repaint it or something like that. Then you got the boots, and then somebody's gonna make a pants, a shirt, and a vest kit.
Yeah.
I wish I could pull it up to see if they had the heads. You know what I mean? But it's not working.
Yeah.
So I mean, you may get a makeshift one for a little bit, but even if they have that Lucas thing, who's to say that they're not going to come out and put one out? That could be one of the first figures they put out.
Yeah.
So, what about you? Is there a property that you want to see them do?
Or? I'd be interested to see. Since it seems like a lot of these companies are kind of sharing kind of the same properties, and when you see one company, it seems like somebody else eventually comes up with one too. Yeah. What if Mezco did those Defenders of the Earth? If you got like the Phantom, Flash Gordon, Ming, kind of like NECA's done.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to see what they would do with a Phantom, a Mezco Phantom. That'd be pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good, man. Yeah, there's a lot they can do, man. And they've done a good job of expanding things too as well. Like putting the lights and everything. I know people think it's gimmicky, but that sets up some of these other things.
Yeah.
So, what is it? I believe so. It's a shot with the Green Lantern ring and the Silver Surfer's Wagon, iconic stuff Mezco's manifesting. Yeah, those dudes. Yeah, pretty much. The best way to predict the future. Exactly. This is a good one. Harrison Ford never signs off on likeness for new Han Solo figures. How does SHF and Black Series get it then? What do they do? What are the rings? That's a good one, Craig. I see a lot of people talk about that. I always think I miss it. It's always about 100 SKUs going at a time, all in different stages. Yeah, they have so many things, man. Flash. Oh, I saw this too. I'm wondering if with the Flash in the movie, I know they're gonna put out that armored one. I'm wondering if they'll do the updated costume. I apologize. Half the show's gone because I guess we can just talk about it with no pictures, right? So
Yeah,
Legends.
old
Yeah,
school.
Legends. Yeah.
It's like radio
Legends.
TV, or not radio TV, but it's like a radio show.
Mm-hmm.
You got your radio voice on you?
And now back to Legends. So,
drink more
Legends.
Ovaltine.
Oh man, yeah. Ralphie was pissed, boy. What's wrong with him? Annie? That dude was pissed. That's a good movie, man.
It is.
All right, so Hasbro Legends. They put out their Secret Invasion. I know we talked about Secret Invasion earlier. I think it was good. The figures look cool. They had a couple of who was it? The one Talios guy that he was on there. I saw a What If She-Hulk. She was on there. We already talked about the.
You got to get Nick Fury, right? Was he in there?
Mm-hmm. He had his little hat and everything else like that.
Got to get Nick Fury.
Yeah. And then we have to segue into. So you're gonna have to imagine this, okay? So I was looking at. I was looking at one of the posts in one of the groups, and some guy said, "I'm gonna need Hasbro and G.I. Joe to slow down because I'm going."
Yeah, he didn't say it quite so nicely, but yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like we're going like geez, dude. So yeah. Remember, we're playing Imaginarium here, right? So yeah. This is where I was gonna go into my little sponsorship segment. You ready? Okay. And now we're waiting for my sponsor. Yeah. So, which is why tonight, CC, remember I had a little picture. I worked hard on that little Photoshop picture too. I'm so pissed. Anyway, so which is why tonight I'm very proud to announce the sponsor for tonight's show. CC, are you overwhelmed with the sheer volume of offerings exploiting your childhood nostalgia?
I sure am.
Are you running out of room to put things that you don't plan on opening for months?
I sure am. Tell me more.
Is the pre-order glow of electric sex blinding you through virtually weekly purchase windows? And isn't that funny that we just talked about Ralphie?
You had that line written already? Yeah.
I did.
We make a Christmas Story reference. You got one written in. Wow. Okay.
I did.
We did not rehearse that. We did not rehearse that.
Not at all. Yeah. So,
that's funny.
Well, you need, and then I have my picture, pinky old blinders. Yes.
Yeah.
Pinky old blinders will block out the tsunami of product that you are being bombarded with on a daily and sometimes hourly basis by narrowing your field of vision. And I had this cute dog with a cone of shame on it.
Yeah.
Allowing you to focus forward to the things that you are collecting within your own collecting lane. Switch to the next slide. This one was a funny one. Members that upgrade to our Pro Collector package will not only receive 24-hour anti-enabler counseling, but also brand-specific blinders, and I had this cone of shame with like 2 Mezco stickers on it, that will allow you to focus your field of vision on the brand that you are supposed to be loyal to. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So if you're having a hard time maintaining financial focus, remember pinky blinders. Your friends and family, fellow collectors and finances will thank you. There you go.
Yeah.
The cone of shame would have been a double entendre. You know, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, really quick, I did put this. Little disclaimer. There is a show that is called The Enablers. That is not a shot at The Enablers. I'm pretty sure nobody will take it that way, but hey, you always got to cover your bases.
Yeah.
It was just a joke about somebody, hey, I need help. I'm going to buy this. Don't do it. Because we all have friends that say, hey, man, I really want to buy this. And you're like, do it.
Yeah. Here's the link. We don't.
I know. MC's bad about that, man.
We do that to each other all the time, man. Oh, hey, look what this is. Here's the link. You can buy it now.
Yeah. I don't even.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's sold out here, but you can get it here. We always. We're big time enablers, man.
Oh, yeah,
Big
we are,
Trouble in
man.
Little China.
Yeah, Jack
Ooh.
Burton. Me. Mm. And then I was going to roll into the Indiana Jones stuff. Of course, it was going to be a little bit of joke where I just replayed the Mezco stuff, but it didn't happen. But they announced some of the Mezco, not the Mezco stuff. See how it's in my brain? They announced the second wave of the Indiana Jones stuff, and that stuff looked good, man. I think the first reveal that they did was the Indiana Jones. And I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, what the heck? We have like how many do we have?"
We counted. Is there 5?
Including the wave two. So we had the, I mean, 5 or 6. Yeah, it sounds about right, right?
Yeah.
So this would have been your other indie, but this indie had a open jacket with a tie look, the whip coil and extended out, had weapons, and they were very, very happy about the articulated hat option on this.
Yeah.
I think they probably stole that from the Wukong. See, because they did this ball joint on the hat head thing.
Yeah.
So,
Copy the ball jointed tail.
So only for the head. Maybe that's compatible. Maybe put that monkey tail on the head. I know. So, yeah. And then they had probably the best villainess of the series. They announced Elsa Schneider. Did you see that coming in that movie? That she was going to be evil? I hope I'm not spoiling it. I didn't either.
No.
Yeah. Such a waste. Anyway, alternative heads. She has her, because you know how she can still pull off that wild look? Man, she can pull off those hairstyles, man. That long hair, I was like, geez. I was like, oh, Fraulein. So, alternate heads, removable glasses, or goggles. And then she came with the thought grail cup. You know, thirsty.
Yeah.
There. She got that grail cup, the wrong one. You know, wasn't it? Yeah, the Carpenter's one. That was good. And then they announced the Grail Knight. I thought this was really cool. They had the sword and sheath and the trigger symbol on the chest. It comes with that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. I think this may be a prototype. I don't know if they'll change any of that stuff, but it seems like they're pretty locked in. He had the Holy Grail, and they were really focusing on the detail, kind of like you were talking about with the Wukong. They put a lot of work into his chainmail. And I was like, man, is that going to be an army builder? You know, you have all these like Crusader Knights and stuff like that.
Yeah. You start swapping those heads out. Yeah.
Yeah. And then last reveal was Henry Jones Sr. So
good old Sean Connery.
Your best. That's the wrong movie. That's the totally wrong movie. He did that in The Rock, didn't he? Junior. That's what he said.
Yeah.
It's infectious. Those guys were doing impressions too. But he has a removable hat, glasses. They put him in timeout for a little bit over there. I guess all of these figures, including Dr. Jordan, was it Jurgen Voller? And then the Ronaldo guy, both of those guys are from the Dial of Destiny. All these figures combined to form, and I was going to show Devastator, because that joke never gets old. Never gets old.
Right.
But that is your build an artifact, and it was the Grail table.
Oh, okay. So we get a chance to build the thing from Temple of Doom, right? That holds the stones, right? That's the second.
Yeah.
Build the artifact. And the Grail table. That's, like I said, the props and stuff that's coming with this line are pretty nice. Pretty versatile. You can use it for a lot of different stuff. Very, very nice. I thought that art was really well done.
You see the guy, or a couple of people have done it. They've repainted it really easy.
Yeah.
Just some Rust-Oleum gold and some. They gave the paint recipe for it.
Yeah.
But it was just simple acrylic paint with some spray paint, and that thing looked nice. I still got to do it. But this junk that you could pick up from Walmart.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, that's a good thing about this, because those characters. Even the ones like Short Round. I mean, I know it's a different movie. It's supposed to be Temple, and you got these other characters, but still, if you still wanted to mix and match, you could.
For
At least
sure.
that's the excuse I'm making myself for buying these. So, yeah, they had the Grail table, but it was pretty decked out. Had a bunch of little pieces on it and stuff like that. So you're gonna be able to do that and have all that stuff. So. And that was it for them. And then they had Jada Toys. They did their was it? They did the Mega Man trio. They did their SDCC reveals, like that little Boo guy. He looked so depressed. I had a zoom in picture on his face, but
The Booberry
they,
guy.
yeah. And we were talking about this too. I didn't know how much he would charge for that. And I was surprised when I saw it was like $19.99. I was like, wow, they're
Yeah, Jada's really trying to appeal to people's pockets, which is impressive because like when everyone else is going one way, they've gone the other. Which, how long can they continue with that price point and survive? It makes you wonder.
yeah, I don't know, man. I'm interested in seeing, well, like you said, you mentioned, what'd you say to that? You were like the deluxe stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, with the deluxe stuff, I was really expecting. Well, I mean, we still don't know about the deluxe stuff, what it's going to be at, but you would almost expect a price point of $40 with all the things that they're offering. But the $24.99 they got for that Street Fighter basic line, that's a steal.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
retail price. People still don't really think about. That's not what Jada's getting for those figures. That's what the retailers are getting for those figures.
Mhm.
So what is Jada selling those figures to the retailers at? $15?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what this exclusive. I mean, they already did the 1999. I'm interested in what that Evil Ryu is going to go for. So I don't know how they're pulling that price point off. The Mega Man stuff, yeah. Sunflower just said that the Mega Man stuff is really cheap too. So
Yeah.
but they're going to have that SDCC and they'll probably show some of the other stuff. So that'll be cool. SDCC is going to be fun, man. It's going to have a lot of good stuff. It's going to have information and toy overload.
Scary to think what's on the horizon.
Yeah. Are you worried? Are you worried?
Man, they're just getting too good at what they're doing. Like a lot of these companies are. It's so good that you got to be really disciplined in order to say no. It's getting harder and harder. Harder and harder. Some of the stuff is just really, really good.
Yeah. So my first, and you're right, man. And Minnie's made a good point too. So Anne bought me a bunch of those Universal figures. She got me Frankenstein. She got me all of them except for the creature from Black Lagoon. And I saw these figures. I go, wow, these are really good. That was my first experience with Jada. And man, those figures are cheap. These figures are cheap. Man, I really, I hope that one of these guys like does like an interview with the owner, or I need to probably just look and find one, but to kind of just get his headspace, like where he's at and what he plans to do with the company. It'd be really interesting because man, they put a lot of stuff. That was it pretty much for all of that stuff. And then last was pitch meeting. We haven't done a pitch meeting in a while, right?
It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm. So what I was thinking is because we're getting flooded with a lot of this stuff, and it's only really Mezco. Not really Mezco, but you know what I mean? Like, as far as the last couple of pre-orders that we've had, you can see how it's kind of affecting people. And I wanted to get with you on it because I figured you knew a little bit about it with another company. But do you think that Mezco would benefit and could implement a payment plan system like Sideshow? I guess if you could break down Sideshow, like I've never done anything, I've only heard. So with Sideshow, you buy a figure, and then what happens?
Yeah, so it's been a minute since I've done it. So if I say this wrong, feel free to correct me. But they break it up into 4 payments, and then like that final payment is usually like right before you get the figure. So you're kind of basically like 75% paid off, and then you finish it off. From what I remember, it's been a minute since I did the Hot Toys. And those are a high ticket item. I have mixed feelings about it like it would probably help us be a little more disciplined if Mezco did that, because it would almost keep us from burying ourselves. You know, I used to always kind of talk about Big Bad with the no NRD, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, like, things would get announced, and I would just pre-order, because without even thinking about it, because the pre-order costs you nothing, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've dwindled down my pre-order list, but I think at one point, I want to think my pre-order list was almost 100 figures deep.
Damn.
Because it was just, you know, hey, something's nice, I pre-ordered it. Oh, that's nice. I'll pre-order 3 of those. And I started looking at it like, you know, do I really need all of these things? So I've gotten far better with that. So part of me wishes that they would kind of do that, because then it would be, you know, pretty much all paid up. And then when they do announce, hey, we're charging Monday, well, you know, 75% of the figure is paid for. You know, I'm going to come out with another $25 instead of, you know, hey, okay, well, you know, I ordered 2, so now I got to come up with 150, you know, on Monday. And then, they're charging for this one too in another week. So I got to come up with another 150, and that's $300 for this month already. So I think there's pros and cons. I think one of the cons that a lot of people would complain about is, for instance, like Indiana Jones today, paying almost in full for a figure that's, you know, more than a year out. I think that would sit poorly with some people. But if it was one of those things where if they could predict the timelines, so it wasn't always getting pushed back to where, you know, maybe you paid for 25% of it every quarter, that way it was paid for by the time it landed. I think that would be fantastic. Fantastic.
That's what I was wondering, because I figured the way it goes, a lot of collectors, their biggest complaint about it is the time frame.
Yeah.
And like you said, it works against people, but some people, it might help them to be able to finalize some of the payment. Because when you have some of these things that hit back to back to back to back, a lot of people would do it. And there are options like PayPal and for, but this is where you would just be doing with the company. I don't know if they want to take on that responsibility accounting wise, but I'm wondering if that option was open to their customers.
Yeah.
If that's something that would work. I don't even know how. I guess my first question is like, okay, let's say you buy Indiana Jones and you've made 2 payments and they delayed.
Yeah.
You know, so, speaking like a sideshow, like, what is there a penalty for you just saying, hey, I want to cancel my order? I know Mezco already does an NRD, but when you're doing sideshow and you've made a couple of payments onto a $200 figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'm not. Mario probably knows. He seems to know everything. But I'm not, I think there's still an NRD. You can't just cancel and there be no penalty. I believe there's still an NRD on part of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, because trying to show like both sides of it, I think it's beneficial because if you're waiting that long, you can make those payments. You'd be locked into it.
Yeah.
But is that headache going to come back and bite the company because you have somebody that just an estimated release date got changed and somebody said, oh, hell, just give me back my money, all of it right now.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know if it will work. I think there's pros and cons to it.
There is. I think for some of us that are really trying to be a little more frugal, I think it would kind of help you, you know, manage your budget some. For those who just like the freedom and just worry about it later on, you know, you obviously wouldn't like it. Because I think wasn't everybody relieved that this wasn't a buy now today? If we'd got hit with 3 buy nows in a row, I think we would have all been in tears, right? Like I was happy to see this be a pre-order this week, and not another buy it now.
Yeah, I think it would free up some financial, but that's what I mean. I'm wondering if it would bite them in the butt, because like if everything averages between like 12 and 18 months, and you divide that over 4, that's a lot of breathing room. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, you'd have your time frame would have to be really tight. You'd have to be able to say, yeah, this is when it's coming out. And you could do it with PayPal, and that's probably the reason why they did it with them. They're like, man, we don't want to deal with the hassle. They can just do PayPal with them. But, it's interesting. So, do you think it would work or no?
I really think it'd be one of those things where it would be like mixed mixed demands. You know, what would be nice, I guess, is if they would offer that as an option. You know, the way you didn't necessarily have to do it that way. You could still do it the old-fashioned way where you just do your NRD. But for those, well, I guess you can still kind of do it with the PayPal, you know, and just pay it up front. I guess that kind of is already there. You could do the paid for. So it's almost kind of already there.
Yeah.
That's probably the way I should start buying mine, in all honesty. I should start doing PayPal and just do the paying for.
Yeah.
MC, I think, is very disciplined and does the majority of his figures that way.
Yeah.
Because I need to do a better job of that. Because like I said, when you're doing these NRDs or some buying pre-order stuff with no NRDs, it's just too easy. And then you start doing the math. Because I think even now, I think I'm at Big Bad. I think I've got 27 pre-orders still.
Wow.
But that's still, like I said, I was if I wasn't 100, I was pretty close to 100 figures at one point.
Yeah. These conversations that we've been having over the last couple of weeks, even when MC was here, it's very enlightening. Because I got they charged for those 3 figures, but then I got charged for Leatherface. And then also there was something else that they charged me for. It was like a 5-point set. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah. This Popeye.
Yeah.
Well, no, that tells you, man. It shows you like how it shows you how you're like, wait a minute, what? And they just spring that on you. You know it's coming, but you know what I mean? It's like when that stuff starts piling up, it's like, holy crap. And I told myself this year, it's been forced, but I told myself this year, I was like, I'll pay for everything with PayPal. But there's been a couple times that's counted, but that way you just pay for it and you're done. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way to do it, I think.
Yeah. It would be a decent option, but I think PayPal 4 works the best. Yeah, at least for me. Yeah, it does. And I agree with you. That's why I think that they're probably just looking at like, let PayPal deal with it.
Yeah.
They would. I think it would be more attractive for people if they not only the release dates, but maybe if the payment structure was more stabilized too.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have a lot of processing, glitches or problems, because it's on both sides. It's their system, but then it's also people not updating the cards properly or doing what they're supposed to do to ensure that it gets processed properly.
Yeah.
Or the communication part too. Like you'd have to I see a lot of times people will mention that they've had a hard time getting in contact with them or trying to either cancel or get refund or replacement stuff, and it's hard to get it. That there's different things that would have to probably improve to have how would you say it? It's still like consumer confidence.
Yeah.
With people. Well, that's it. That's pretty much it. You wrap up. Apologies about the technical difficulty. I'm gonna get Google Drive. Screw this Facebook stuff. No offense, Mark Zuckerberg. He already flagged me this week, man. Did you see that? You remember when I showed you that?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What was it? Oh, I put Leatherface. I said Leatherface is now shipping. And then it said, this has been flagged for sexual and sexually explicit language or something. I was like, what?
Leatherface. Yeah.
I was like, me? I was like, maybe in the show. I was like, but not on a post. Really? Anyway. What do you got? Anything? I have a wrap up and a couple things to wrap up.
No, man. Nothing for me.
Yeah. You gotta apologize about the technical difficulty. Don't worry, that won't happen again, or at least this Facebook. All right. So what did we learn today, kids? Let's do the wrap ups. What did we learn? Lots of shit is coming. Lots of shit is coming. Be prepared.
Yeah.
Have you noticed throughout all these shows, we pretty much called a lot of this stuff?
Yeah.
Not half-ass guessing.
Yeah.
Through logic-based decision and evaluation abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no room for logic in this stuff, Paige.
Oh,
no room for logic.
There is. You can do it. Life was crazy. Yeah, it was. So yeah, lots of shit is coming. Be prepared. Be constructive, not destructive.
I like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies out there. You can tell they're trying to extend an olive branch or trying to get feedback from people. You say it all the time. Use those opportunities to be able to communicate and make the hobby better. Maybe they'll even lower the prices.
Yeah.
Because they've been doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one. Oh, somebody had something. But you really want to collect and focus on it. That's what we learned. Buy what you really. Exactly. Very good point. There's another thing that we learned. Hasbro, G.I. Joe, and Mezco are obviously financially struggling. And probably,
Yeah. The Hasbro
probably,
line is dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Hasbro, Mezco, those lines are dead.
I know you want one, Paige.
I can't even
got an
say that
extra.
with a straight face, bro.
I got an extra.
So does MC. But he knows he's going to be like, yeah, pay me for price. He's going to tell me that shit.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
You're going to need one of those, man. Don't worry, I'll hold on to it for you until you change your mind.
Yeah. I'm probably going to fold, honestly.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's another one of those things you got to really appreciate it in person.
No.
The pictures don't really do it justice. You got to get your hands on it.
I'm going to take a CC stance. Nope. I'm going to take a CC stance. No. Don't need it. I'm going to do what you do. Is like, nope.
But you have room for this. Look at it. It doesn't take up much space. You've got room for that. It's just another box in the pile.
No, I can't.
Where's my box? And it's a really nice box. Got a nice little backdrop, diorama.
I kept all those Mythic Legions backdrops that they gave me with those figures. I was like, what am I going to use this?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Maybe if I could blur out the background up there. Because I honestly other people do. Now, anyway, focus. I can't say it with a straight face. So yeah, those lines are obviously financially in trouble. That's why they keep acquiring licenses. So buy what you can from them now, because in 2 or 3 years they probably won't exist. Isn't that funny? That's what they said about G.I. Joe like 2 years ago. This line's dead. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let time and all this stuff. No indie pipeline reveals. More than likely, that means that line's probably going to be discontinued. So if you want to jump on that, make sure you do. Also, I'm going to say this and be very serious about this. King Solomon's Mines, Treasure of the Four Crowns, Sky Pirates, Tomb Raider, Uncharted, the Ark of the Sun God, Gold Raiders, Romancing Stone, National Treasure, and Mummy are all Indiana Jones knockoffs. I'll say that. They're all knockoffs. All knockoffs. But you notice I did not include Firewalker. You want to know why? Because Chuck Norris is in it.
Chuck Norris.
Exactly. I don't want to get my ass kicked by Chuck Norris.
Right. No one needs that kind of pressure.
Nobody needs it. Did you know Chuck Norris once strangled a man with a cordless telephone?
Yeah. Oh, man. Did
you know Chuck Norris made a fire rubbing 2 ice cubes together?
What if Mezco tackled Chuck Norris next? Would you?
I would buy it in an instant.
Yeah.
Or
Walker, Texas Ranger. Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, I'm gonna be strong.
Yeah.
Did you know that Chuck Norris, when he gives you the finger, he's telling you how many seconds you have to live? I got a bunch of these, man. You know, Chuck Norris threw a grenade and killed 50 people, and then the grenade exploded. That wasn't that great, but yeah. Chuck Norris doesn't cheat death. He wins fair and square every time. Chuck Norris named his daughter Mercy the day she was born, and that's the only day Chuck Norris has ever had Mercy. What was the last one? Oh, there it is. This is the last one. So Chuck Norris's calendar goes from March 31st to April 2nd because nobody fools Chuck Norris.
There you go.